On to Dan George with Nathan Kimsey. Nathan, British Masters Week, just tell us how you're feeling.
Yeah, feeling good. A couple of days of prep so far, and just trying to obviously dial into the conditions and kind of learn the golf course or refamiliarise because we've been here a few times before. So, everything's feeling good so far, and hopefully ready to go Thursday.
I was going to ask you how many times, when have you played this before, and how do the conditions kind of compare to previous times?
Yeah, so last time I was here was a couple of years ago. It kind of feels pretty similar out there. Not been a lot of changes, so just kind of like I said, refamiliarising myself with it, and just trying to dial into like how it's playing and what the conditions are giving us and stuff. So but looking forward to it.
It's going to be a strong field, this week. How does that kind of change your mindset going into it?
Doesn't really change it too much, to be honest. Kind of try and just focus on what I'm doing and what we're doing as a team, and just focus on ourselves really and what we can do to get the best out of myself this week, and hopefully that can be as high up the top of the leaderboard as possible. But try not to worry about others and what they're doing. Just try and focus on ourselves.
What kind of, when it comes to mindset, obviously there's so much mental that goes into golf, but when it comes to when you go into a weekend, you look at what you want to achieve, do you look at and chase a feeling or a position, or what is it that you're kind of wanting to chase going into a golf week?
I think like the overall like theme for me is always just trying to get the best out of myself any given week. Obviously some weeks that to do whatever you're trying to do that, it can be different. So sometimes might not be swinging it very well, so then you've got to do some technical work on the swing and try and kind of focus on more on that side rather than the golf course or the conditions, because you just need to try and figure out a way to hit it better. Other weeks you could be hitting it great and you just like can spend a bit more time on the skill kind of side of things. So it's just trying to figure out what I need to do any kind of given week to get the best out of myself.
You travel all over the world, but I know obviously you played in the Open recently, but in terms of being able to come back home after so much time spent in all different corners of the planet, how nice is it to come and play somewhere in your own country?
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, to be able to kind of just pack the car up and drive up the road kind of thing is great. And then just sort of familiar surroundings of somewhere we've been a few times before, and have some family and friends be able to make the trip and just come and support. And then I think like the UK fans are, the British fans are the best kind of around the world really. They love watching sport, so it'd be great to hopefully put on a bit of a show for them.
Let's talk about it then. The Open, how would you sum up that experience?
It was great, everything I would have kind of thought was going to be, it was going to be, and more. Just right from the start of the week, it was just really special to be there and kind of be a part of an event that obviously I've watched for so many years on TV. So, to kind of rub shoulders with the best in the game, and hopefully I can qualify for a few more and do that again.
Top 40 finish, 2 under par. Did you think it would go that well?
Obviously I was like going into the event, prepping to have a good week like I would with anything. So I felt like my game was in good shape, obviously coming through the qualifier and sort of managing to get through anyway. So, I was just trying to do the best I could, and I was hoping that I could just obviously handle the nerves and the situation there for the first time and be able to execute. And play some good stuff, and managed to do that and come away with like a nice tidy finish.
And just talk us through the week in general, obviously making the cut and then that really strong kind of finish, and then finishing up with Bryson DeChambeau on the final 2 rounds. First of all, making the cut, how did that feel once you'd made it? Did you have any kind of relief, or did you want more? Like, what was your mindset at that moment?
Yeah, I think, it was a little kind of the Friday I kind of didn't really finish off too well. I kind of made bogey on 18 Thursday and Friday. And I knew it was probably pretty safe that I was going to still make the cut at the time. But, it was kind of a little nervy waiting for that to be confirmed. So I kind of came off on the Friday a little disappointed, because I felt I'd done a good job on the Thursday to kind of hadn't handled being, that first round and getting off to a decent start. So I was a little bit disappointed that I couldn't quite push on and take advantage of that. But I was obviously really happy to, kind of make the weekend and give myself another couple of shots at moving up a little bit. And then, the Saturday I had a good move up and managed to sneak my way up a few more spots.
Just talk us through what it was like playing with Bryson those 2 rounds. Is this the first you've come across him, or have you spoken before?
No, I think that's the first time we've kind of come across each other. I think I'd turned pro a little bit before he had. So, and then obviously he's been out in America and stuff. So, he was great. We kind of chatted a bunch, and he was friendly and chatty, and all that kind of stuff. And that was great with all the crowds that he rang, and the noise and the energy that they brought. It was really good fun to play with him on the weekend.
Obviously, you're a professional golfer in your own right, and you play with the best players in the world every other week, every week. But was there any kind of element of being starstruck walking around with all those the biggest names in golf?
I wouldn't say starstruck. No, I think there's obviously a lot of the American-based players that I'd not sort of been at an event with before, so just seeing some new faces was kind of just a little bit different. But obviously played some big events on the DP World Tour over here, and so a lot of the European names and big stars and stuff I've seen around at events. So a few new faces, but kind of not necessarily sort of starstruck.
And you've had a taste of the top of golf. Has that left you wanting more? How's that kind of experience left you feeling coming back into weeks like this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was that's such a great event there at the Open, and the experience was amazing. So, and also showing that my game can sort of stack up in that environment. So definitely want to get back and experience more of those big events in the future. And that means coming back here to these ones, and hopefully putting some great results together and being able to move myself up the race to Dubai and the world rankings and things like that to try and give myself the best chance to get in those really big ones again in the future.
And you posted that video of you walking down the 18th green on the Sunday, the applause from the fans. That was one of those moments that I guess you can look back on, when you're done with your career. Was that a moment? What did it feel like walking down there with all those fans there for you and Bryson to celebrate such a big week?
Yeah, it was really cool. I'm still not quite sure whether they were clapping for me or clapping for Bryson, who was about 5 yards behind. But that was a really cool walk up there. Obviously, that's something you sort of picture and envision. Whenever you've seen guys do it over the years. That kind of big horseshoe kind of grandstand around 18, and it's kind of you're surrounded by the fans. So that was a really cool moment that I just wanted to soak in and just kind of really enjoy. And after we'd finished out on 18, I kind of managed to stand in a little spot under the grandstand where we walk out and just kind of stay where I could see everyone outside still, but it was kind of hidden away just to kind of have a look back and sort of enjoy that. And hopefully I can that won't be the end of it. It'll be plenty more times I can do that in the future.
And I mean, one of those opportunities is this week here at the British Masters. How much would you like to have one of those weeks this week?
I mean, it'd be fantastic. Like I said, there's quite a few friends and family that are able to come and watch this week. So, and obviously playing at home. So, if I can add my name to the bottom of that trophy, then that would be pretty special. So, fingers crossed.
Have you had a chance to, being back home, have you had a chance to go back and play around at Stoneham at all, or not? I try
and get out for some holes here and there when I can. But obviously a lot of busy schedule travelling, so it's always tough. But I always try and get out for a few if I can anytime I'm back home and sort of catch up with some friends and some of the members there. So obviously proud to be a part of that club and attached there. So it's great to try and get back when I can.
And just finally, away from obviously yourself, today there's a 40th anniversary of Team Europe's first ever win in the Ryder Cup. From the point of view of a fan and a fellow golfing professional, how do you see this year's Ryder Cup in New York? It's a tough one, going your way to, I'm sure, what will be an incredibly hostile atmosphere for Team Europe. But how do you see it?
I actually think, the last kind of handful of weeks looking at it, I think we're actually looking quite strong. I think sort of early in the year where you look at a potential team that we was kind of looking at and from the American side, I thought it was maybe going to be a tough one for us. But I think you've looked at some of the form of the top American players from last year. they've maybe not played so well this year, and then we've had a lot of guys in form recently, obviously from Europe side. Obviously Rory's had a great year. Bob's playing well, Tommy's been playing well, obviously Justin Rose just won. So I mean, we've got a lot of players playing really well coming into the right time of the year. So I think looking at it, I think we'll give them a good go out there. So hopefully we can bring it back over this side.
Fingers crossed, and thanks for your time. Better luck this week.
No worries, thank you very much.